Hey, this is Chris from Papershift, and I'm going to show you how to use the software for a project management business. So let's have a look in an example account. So this is what your calendar will look like. You have the different working areas, which are teams or areas where people, you can sort people by qualifications, so people who can do construction, who can do planting, etc. And what you're seeing here are shifts. So each box is basically a requirement. So this one, we can see the time, the number of people you need, and then the people who are already signed there. In this notes section, you can also, for example, say which vehicle is assigned to which person, the address, and so forth. If we have a look in one of these, when we create it, you can see that you can create it for a number of days. So you can say, for example, this lasts 3 days, or you could say it lasts 20 days, and then you can say the days of the week when this project should be worked on. So you're not having to create one for every single day that the project is happening. And then here you can put the number of people you need. Now, if you press on the tag and note field here, you can add details which will then be linked to the payroll and that you can filter with. So in this tag section, you can put the name of the client and project number if that's relevant. And then here in the notes section is where you put those details, as I mentioned. So the shifts, when they're green, it means that they're filled with the number of people required. And if they're red, it means that you still need to assign someone to the shift. If you click on the shift, it will show who is available within that working area. So you can't accidentally assign someone who doesn't have the skills to do the job, because they wouldn't be shown here because they're not in the working area. So if we say, for example, John should do this job, he's then assigned to the shift, and that's all fully planned. Now you notice this icon here, that's showing that someone is absent on that day, so we can see that Patrick's off. When you add someone as absent, then they can't be added to a shift in the calendar. So for example here, we can't see Patrick because he's marked as off. So that's linked together. Now, if you press on the absences section here, you can see the overview of that. And the employees can request annual leave. So here, for example, we see that Patrick has requested a day's holiday, and it's still pending. And as the manager, then you can click here to confirm that. So that's confirmed. And then when we go to the calendar, if he was in a shift on that day, it will have taken him out of the shift. So you're not having to double enter that when that's approved. So here on the left, you can see the number of hours that people are assigned in the week. So you can make sure that people are doing the number of hours that they should be according to their contract. You can set per person how many hours that should be. And if you click here, you can set that per month as well. If you then click here on the absences section, you've got an overview of the confirmed absences for the whole team there. So last thing to mention is the time tracking section. So with Papershift, your plan is tied to your payroll, so your payroll reporting. So when one of these shifts finishes, so when it gets to 6 o'clock on Monday, the system automatically makes a time tracking here. And that includes the project number and the working area and the client name and so forth, so you have all that data there. Then you can confirm that, you can say yes, that's fine, Neil did work then, or you can also set it that the employees can edit that if they worked overtime, for example, and then you as the manager, you confirm that. So you can also add a note if it was edited so that you can keep track of the changes. And then each employee has a record section where you can see their hours and then create a report for the payroll. So if we click here on Patrick and click on Records. We can then see the hours which he has worked in the calendar. So here, for example, 11.5, which were planned. And then to do the payroll, all you have to do is go to each employee at the end of the month, click on the export, and then export that to Excel or CSV and send it to the accountant. Now that's the more simple version. If people are paid just per hour and it doesn't matter what time of day it is, for example. If your business has overtime, if people are working night shifts, for example, then we have the payroll module, which automatically takes that into account and will calculate how much someone should be paid for the month, depending on which shifts they work in. So then we would have the payroll section here, and then that will have automatically created a report for Patrick, which you can then export into one of different file formats. And that will then automatically show how much he should be paid for the month, taking all of the different overtime rates into account. So that's how you set up a project management business with Papershift. Feel free to get in touch with us at any time to find out more.